Well, today in the mail I received an assessment, property tax assessment on my property here, and it went up quite a bit. And you know, it's just always bothered me that I take it upon myself to, within my meager means, to make a better life for myself and my family, to keep my property cleaned up, to work with my neighbors, and, you know, to take some pride in where I live. I spend my own money, and I spend hours and hours of my own time, my own sweat, to try to keep things pasted together around here. And the government reaps the rewards of my effort.
So the Constitution gives Congress the power to raise what it needs by levying and collecting taxes, duties, imposts, and excises. You must have heard your father speak about the income tax. These excises and duties are taxes levied on such things as movie admissions, gasoline, luxuries such as jewelry, furs, silverware, and other things.
Well, back in the 40s, I believe that was known as the luxury tax. I think today we can call it the everything tax. So why give the government more power? You see, what I'm saying is government is not the solution. Here's the perfect example. Oh, gasoline and furs. Well, gee, that doesn't seem so bad. But now look what you've got. How do we fix this problem? Well, government will fix this for us. No, government's the problem. Don't you see? Well, the thing of it is that people, they won't complain about property taxes because the government has all this power, and they fear the government. They fear that if they make a complaint that it will be worse, and you can't, you don't have any recourse if they decide to tax you, whatever they decide to tax you, complaints or not, you know, unless you want to get deeply involved in the system and be, you know, make it a hobby out of fighting the government, you have no option but to do what you're told. And the other thing that always amazes me, and I've noticed this on several occasions now, and I'm 53 years old, is that whenever the economy takes a dump, the state raises taxes any way they can. Instead of, you know, cutting out programs, getting rid of government, they come down on the little man to make you pay while you are paying because you're affected by the economy. You're already, you know, being strapped. But they don't care about that. They just want to keep the programs rolling in, you know? At any job that you've ever been in, if you've had to run a budget, you always ask for more than you need because you always know it's going to be cut. And you always ask for more people if you have staff than you need. Or if you're an employee, you're always asking for more money or more benefits, more time off. If you create a bureaucracy, the bureaucracy is going to demand more, and they're going to create this atmosphere which will allow them to access to more resources. They're going to do it, like they're going to, you know, claim the sky is falling, or so basically people are quiet and they're, you know, happy, you know, their assessment's not another $10,000 or $20,000 higher than it is. Why? Because they fear that the government, they fear, and that's no way to live, but that's how we all live. Everything that you do, from the moment you get up in the morning to the moment you go to bed, there's some kind of government regulation or some kind of tax placed on you. You're in a system, you know, and many people are okay with that because, hey, we're all human beings. We all have to live together, so we all have to be a part of the system, right? Well, no, we don't all have to be a part of your system, you know. I've got my own system, and my own system is I work to get what I've got. Leave me alone, you know. Just do what you can for yourself. Don't take advantage of people. Stay the hell out of your neighbor's yard. And you know, we're all different, and we all have come from different backgrounds and have different levels of understanding of human nature and history and all that. But you know I'm not alone in this, and other people feel the same way. The other thing I wanted to say, you know, as I'm on this rant about politics, is that people that I know all complain about the same thing. It seems like they all complain about the same thing. There's some specific things where people, you know, would like to force other people, you know, to do or not to do. But most people complain about the same things. But, you know, my solution is, you know, just to stop it. The things that I don't like, we'll stop doing that. But other people's solution is that government should fix it. Well, you know, government created the problem that you're complaining about. Have a solution to a problem. The solution is government. They know they can't fix the problem. And then you find out that the problem is worse than it was. And then the same people promise to fix that problem by what? By doing what? By creating a larger government entity to take care of it. It's a vicious cycle. It's the wrong thing to do to try to control people. Why? Because, you know, people need to learn by doing and learn from mistakes. So you can't create this massive web of government, bureaucracy, and laws to make life better for people, because people do not fit into this machinery that you set up, because they'll never fit into it, because they're always going to, you know, drive without a seatbelt until they have a wreck and hit their head, or smoke cigarettes until they realize they're going to die, or do anything until they realize what the consequences are. There has to be a certain amount of government just so that, you know, the people that take advantage of other people are responsible for their actions. But that doesn't give you free reign, you know, to be less responsible for your actions. Like if you have a hot cup of coffee and spill it in your lap, guess what? You're an idiot and it's your fault. So people complain about the same thing, and they don't realize that they just create, with their votes, they create an environment that makes them even more like frustrated. If they would, you know, all people want is to be left alone, I think, and have freedom to do what they want to do. I mean, I think that's the way, if I have to throw a should in here, that's the way things should be. But, you know, I know there's people out there, they get these agendas like, you know, life like guns. Well, most people that are against guns are just afraid of them, you know. They don't understand them, and they don't understand what they mean. They don't understand that life is messy and people get shot, people go crazy and kill people with guns. But that's just life, you know. But you can't trust, you know, your government or other people not to come into your house and abuse you. So, you know, in your own little way, you have to have what you have at your disposal to protect yourself, because people are just not all nice, and no government law or bureaucracy or ban is going to make you safe. You know, so we allow, you know, like government to grow like it's like yeast in a pan of warm water, and we just keep pouring more yeast in, thinking that, you know, we're going to get a nice warm chewy, you know, loaf of bread out of it, and if you don't, you just have a pile of glop.
Well, Bill, Washington and Jefferson and Lincoln are dead. They began our democracy, but they knew the job would have to be finished by those who lived after them. And they knew that this democracy would last only as long as its citizens were willing to keep working on it. It's our government, Bill. From here on, it's up to us.